Here we are with the test with a pallet of wood. Basically the pallet would be on the dock. You would drop it down. The issue is not the going up and down. We'll raise it up and down. But the issue that Abe has is the manual labor. I think what we figured out, and I'll show you another one that they make, is that we're going to have one where the high-low, which they can make, can back up actually onto the lift, take the high-low down, be able to bring the high-low off with the pallet of wood, and be able to take the high-low down and be able to then load the customer. Why don't you get your manual thing and just lift the...
Yeah. About it a little bit?
Yeah. And then if you could speak about it. Abe, talk about the hurdles and everything else.
So the way to do this correctly is that they're going to have to put a correct pitch on here so we can drive the forklift onto the ramp, onto the scissor lift, and drop down and be able to load customers with the forklift. Steve, the manufacturer, is going to have to build handrails because of OSHA. So what we're doing with the wider pallets, we're not going to be able to put it in this direction. So we drive the forklift, we back the forklift onto the scissor lift, we drop the load onto the dock, get the forklift on the ground, and then we're able to pick up the load over the rails and bring it in and load up our
and then the forklift would come down.
That is correct.
It would back
down.
It would back down.
Back out of it with the load from the dock.
Okay. And they have a similar type unit that we'd need inside. I'll go ahead and take a little...
Ideally, Mitch would have to find out what it's going to cost to build a pit so it can be flush. Worst case scenario, they're going to have to build a plate that's going to have the correct pitch so I'll keep the load on.
Yeah.
Correct.
Can you just raise the... can you raise it? So the weight itself is not...
30-pound lift right here.
Yeah, that's okay, and that's one of the maximum weights. The raising and the lowering is not going to be an issue at all. It's just you won't be able. Talk about the reasons, Abe, if you will, why you can't manually load and unload.
Yeah, the reason you want to drive the load off the forklift is due to the fact that it takes a lot of man hours to take each box onto a truck. A lot of people come with a pickup, and we're able to drop the load right onto the bed versus having to hand load them. If we do it this way, you have to snap the straps on here, have the truck back up, and load each box up. That's going to create some back injury. It's also going to take some time off the platform for shoulder.
But the bottom line, just so that we understand, you think if we can design one and get a price so that it can support the high-low?
Yeah, the best case scenario.
I just want to be clear.
The high-low and the load on the lift itself. Like pallets where they're 4-footer and below, you can keep the load on there without having to drop it on the dock. To save money, we can actually build one that's narrow enough.
Like this one.
Like this one right here, where you keep the load on the dock, and then once the high-low is dropped onto the ground, you grab the load off the dock and back it up.
And how many of your product mix is 7-foot versus the 4-foot?
The northern stores are going to have a lot more of those versus the southern stores. The southern stores are going to have more on the 4-foot pallets going out versus the northern stores. The other ones are going to have the most challenging pallets.
So I'm confused, and I just want to make it clear. Assume there's a 7-foot. If we use this size, how would you do this pallet? Can you just kind of walk through how you would do this?
So you would be up on the dock here. You bring the load back the forklift onto the scissor lift, drop the load onto the ground, back the remaining portion of the forklift onto the ramp so the blades clear the dock, get the forklift onto the ground, and now grab the load and back off.
So you need a longer, this is what, 12 feet, I think?
No, it's not 12 feet, it's forks and all.
Yeah, forks and all. 10. So you need at least a 12-foot.
A minimum, it has to be a little bit more, because you don't want to get back to the water.
Right, so maybe 15 by 4.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is Steve, the owner of ECOA.
How you doing, Dave? You don't have anything?
point that worst case scenario, if we were to hand load each box, obviously on the base right now, it's built out of wood,
Right.
8 inches high.
8 inches higher than normal.
8 inches lower than you see here. I can manually grab each box and load it onto a car. We want to try to avoid that for efficiency purposes and to avoid back injuries.
Back injuries is the
You can
biggest
raise
thing.
it as you go.
Correct.
Down,
you can raise
you
it
can come up.
as
Yeah.
probably as
In
well.
some ways, I mean, a lift is better than a yard ramp. It solves some of the issues that we have with a yard ramp.
That is correct.
So, but the bottom line is you think that we can make this work. We just have to do some modification.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. Okay. Thanks.